Injuries are physical damages inflicted to one's body. Injuries include such damages as dog bites, a scratch from a cat, an electric shock, or a needle stick. Illness may be defined as sickness. There are two types of illnesses that relate to the workplace: acute illness and chronic illness. Acute illness is characterized by a sudden onset of sickness, often the result of a single exposure to a chemical or biological agent. Such acute illnesses are sometimes categorized as injuries by OSHA. Chronic illness is characterized by its long-term effects. This includes those sicknesses that are less apparent initially but may lead to delayed symptoms, such as might be experienced as a result of unprotected radiation exposure. Fortunately, injuries, acute illnesses, and chronic illnesses are often preventable with proper attention to safety measures. As we examine the hazards found in a typical veterinary facility, we will be illustrating examples of how chronic illness, acute illnesses, and injuries might occur. As you better understand these hazards, you are in a better position to take steps toward preventing such illnesses and injuries from occurring. Prevention is the goal of this training program and should be an important part of your daily routine. If an accident occurs, get immediate assistance from another staff member or your supervisor. Your supervisor will need to be notified right away to assist in getting you medical attention should it be necessary. Veterinary practices with more than 10 employees must post the OSHA Form 200, Log of Occupational Injuries and Illnesses, at the end of each calendar year for employees to review. This log requires a list of all occupational injuries and illnesses that occurred in the practice. The OSHA Hazard Communication Standard requires your employer to identify and provide training if necessary on all products used in the practice that contain a hazardous chemical. If you are exposed to a product that contains a hazardous chemical, call for help. You or another employee should immediately reference the Material Safety Data Sheet, or MSDS, for that product. The Material Safety Data Sheet will tell you precisely how to decontaminate or otherwise be treated. Material Safety Data Sheets provide information on all substances in the hospital. They will tell you what the substance looks like, smells like, as well as first aid measures, spill and contamination information, and protective gear to wear when using the material. If you're not sure where the MSDS binder is located, ask your supervisor. Your employer must provide training on how to obtain and use the information contained on material safety data sheets. In the event that you become at increased risk of injury or illness, you should immediately notify your supervisor concerning your situation. Examples include, but are not limited to, pregnancy, previous back injuries, allergic reactions, and prescription medications that may affect your work. Your supervisor will consider your situation and adjust your job description, if possible, to lessen the chances of injury or illness. Fire safety plans are critical to every veterinary hospital. When a fire breaks out, time is of the essence and immediate action is a must. Your hospital should have an emergency evacuation plan posted that directs everyone to a safe exit no matter where you are in the hospital. You should also familiarize yourself with the location and operation of fire extinguishers in your facility. Emergency phone numbers should be posted next to the phone. In the event that a fire erupts, be sure everyone is accounted for and safely evacuated. Then assess if there is adequate time to safely free the animals. Never risk the health, life, or possible death of an employee when attempting to free an animal. If human life does not appear to be in immediate jeopardy and a decision is made to rescue the animals, they should be quickly removed along with some form of ID for future reuniting with their owners. The animals can temporarily be placed into a fenced yard, into employee cars, or tied to a fence or tree.